We had a huge mistake with our new fifth wheel. We were bringing it home at night, driving into my driveway, and there was a low overhanging tree that punched a hole into the side of the fiberglass and ripped off our awning. I didn't turn wide enough, and this camper is a lot taller than any other one I've driven, and this tree just happened to catch on my awning and messed up the fiberglass siding a little bit. So normally I would have just taken this in and had somebody repair it. However, since we live in it and I can't have it gone for 2-3 weeks, I'm doing the repair myself. So I'm a complete novice, and we'll see how well I can fix fiberglass siding. This is my first time doing it, so this is more of a inspirational video, probably not so much a how-to. Well, maybe it can be. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this off just so I don't get try not to make too much of a mess with the epoxy. Alright, so I have it taped off. Next, I am going to sand this and get all these rough edges down and give it a surface area that hopefully the new fiberglass will stick to a little better. Got it sanded. Next step, I'm going to clean this off with some alcohol. Alright, I'm using the West System epoxy resin. I know Bondo makes some, probably works just as well, but this is what I have, so this is what I'm using. So with this, it says just mix it for about a minute. To start this process, I'm putting epoxy over the entire hole before I lay any fiberglass. I want to do this so as to make sure that the fiberglass will be completely covered with epoxy. Now that the entire area is covered with the epoxy, I'm going to start layering the fiberglass over this. As I put each piece of fiberglass down, I will liberally coat the fiberglass with the resin. That's after the first coat. It is ugly, but I'm gonna sand it and hopefully I'll smooth it out a little before I put on the next coat. So I'm using 40 grit to start. If it's too aggressive, I'll switch to 80, but I think 40 might be okay. So there it is, sanded after the first coat. Now I'm going to just clean it up, and since I can see these low spots, I'm going to put a second layer of fiberglass on and kind of fill in those low spots, and then from there I will sand again. So right now I'm just going to clean this up. I'm starting to put the second layer of fiberglass on. Again, I'm using the West system. I like this because it's an easy mix. I can just do, it's one pump to one pump, and I'm just going to mix up a bunch and then put in the second layer of fiberglass. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this brush, put some resin on it, put the resin on the fiberglass that's already there. And then place more fiberglass in the low spots. And just make sure it's coated really well. And do that for all these low spots here. Alright, there's the second layer, and it looks pretty ugly, but again, I'm not a professional at this. It's my first time doing it, so I probably have a lot more sanding to do than I really would like, but that's what I'm going to do next. I am going to sand this and see how smooth I can get it. Alright, again, I'm going with 40 grit to sand the top layer down until I get it semi-flush. But I need a mask. So I just finished sanding this, Definitely a lot more sanding because I'm an amateur at this. It took me a little over an hour to get this smooth. So my next step is to clean this off, blow it out, and then I'm going to use some Bondo to fill in all these little pit holes and stuff. And from there we'll see how it looks. Now I'm putting on this original Bondo filler, and you gotta do this quick. Again, it only has a 3 to 4 minute working time. Oh no. What a freaking mess. Alright, so this stuff, it hardens quick, just like the other stuff, I'm sure. So once I mix it, I'm going to just smooth it on there. And then I'll wait 20-30 minutes and sand again. Alright, so it's been about 30 minutes since I applied the original Bondo on there, and now I'm going to sand it smooth with, I'm going to start with 80 grit and then probably go up to 180. After that, we'll let it sit for 45 minutes and then I'll primer it and see how it looks. me, it's looking really good. So right now I'm gonna clean it and then let it sit for 45 minutes and put a coat of primer on it. I'm actually kind of impressed with myself. So it sat for about 45 minutes after I sanded it, like it says in the directions. Now I am just going to use some automotive primer. Now I'm just going to use some automotive primer on it, and then I'll just see how it looks after that. Primer's dry. I'm gonna go over it with a little 220 grit just to make sure it's really smooth. And I'm now gonna clean this and then blast it with some paint. Getting down to the final steps of this repair in the fiberglass side, and went to Walmart. We found a color that's fairly similar. It's just this Rust-Oleum, and ultimately I'm gonna either see if I can get a paint mixed to color match the side, or we are just gonna put a vinyl stripe up there, black vinyl over it, to really make it so you can't notice it. But yeah, right now I'm gonna paint it with this Rust-Oleum and see how close the paint comes. We'll see how close this is. Overall, I was quite surprised with how well it came out. I did not think it was going to come out as good as it did, especially with the paint color. It seems to be matching fairly well for just picking up a spray can at Walmart. There are a few little imperfections, but they're very hard to see, especially from a distance. I think this process, it seemed intimidating at first, and I wasn't sure how it would come out, but overall, if you just kind of take it step by step, it wasn't too bad. So I know you can do it, and thanks for watching.